sir, and I'm your teacher Pawan Kanu, and today I'm again going to continue the same topic of numericals which I have started in the previous video. So here the next question for today is question number 4. In question number 4, here is something different type of question where the understanding of weight you will come to know. How the formulas are made, that is one sense, but the real understanding of gravity, gravitation and the weight you will come to know. So what is here? Here is the topic I have noted down, that is ability or strength. And let us read the question now. How much mass can be lifted by a weightlifter? So weightlifter is a person who mostly takes part in weightlifting competitions. He can lift weight. He practices to lift the weight all the most times. So how much mass can be lifted by a weightlifter on the surface of the moon if he can lift 100 kg on the earth? So here we are actually trying to find out the ability or the strength of the weightlifter, the highest strength of the weightlifter, how much he can lift the weight on the surface of the earth and on the surface of the moon. So let us write the given data is given here. In the name of data, just mass of the object is given. So the mass of the object is equals to 100 kilograms. And acceleration due to gravity on the earth is 9.8 meter per second square. And one more thing you must remember, that is acceleration due to gravity on the moon or of the moon, that is Gm, is 1/6 times of gravity of the earth. So this is one more point you must remember, that gravity or acceleration due to gravity of moon is 1/6 times of gravity of the earth. This is a fact you must remember, you must memorize, like mass of the earth and the radius of the earth. You have to memorize in the same way. You must keep in your mind that the acceleration due to gravity on the moon is 6 times less to the acceleration due to gravity on the earth. So let us find first the amount of weight the weightlifter can lift on the earth. So we have got the formula, weight is equals to mass into gravity on the earth, or weight on earth, that is weight on earth is equals to mass of an object is 100 kilograms, and that is mass on the earth, and gravity is 9.8, and hence weight of an object is 980 newtons. So we'll write therefore, hence 980 newton is the maximum strength. 980 newton is the maximum strength of weight lifter. Up to the weight of 900 newton, the weightlifter can lift the load. Then now in the same way we will understand that weight WE here, then WE is equals to Wm, or you can understand the maximum strength of weightlifter. It is the maximum strength of the weightlifter. So either you take the weightlifter on the moon or on the earth or anywhere in the universe, he can only lift the weight up to 980 newtons. So weight of the object on the moon, or weight or the maximum strength of weightlifter on the moon will also be equal to mass into gravity. And now mass on the moon is Mn. How much mass can be lifted is asked. So we have to take the new mass, or simply you can write here M dash, and 980 is equals to M dash into gravity is 1/6 times of 9.8. Yeah, because it is the acceleration due to gravity on the moon is 1/6 times of acceleration due to gravity on the earth, or 980 times 6 divided by 9.8 is equals to m dash, or you divide, then 9.8 you will get 100 times, so you will get 600 kg, the mass of an object on the moon. Hence, mass of the object on the moon is equals to 600 kilograms. So once again, let us recall the question. In the question, mass of an object to be lifted on the moon is required or asked, and the mass of an object on the earth is given 100 kilograms, and it is said that a weightlifter is going to lift the certain amount of mass on the earth and on the moon. So first we have to calculate the maximum strength of the weightlifter he can lift. So the maximum strength will be the hint to be utilized in both on the earth and on the moon, and by the help of the maximum strength of the person weightlifter, by using the formulas we can find the mass of the object that can be lifted on the moon. Therefore, how much mass can be lifted? Therefore, hence 600 kilograms of mass can be lifted on the moon. By a weightlifter. By a weightlifter. Now let us go to the next question, question number 5. Here in question number 5, there are two different types of conditions given now, and what are those two different conditions? First, let us read the question and we can analyze. Gravitational force between two bodies is 10 Newton. So let us keep two bodies, body 1A and body B. When they are at a distance of 10 meter, so at a distance of 10 meter means the distance from their centers is 10 meter, that is D equals to 10 meter. How much gravitational force is produced when they are kept at 4 meter apart? So the distance is changed in the next case. Two bodies are here. The same two bodies, before they were at a distance of 10 meter, now they are at a distance of just 4 meters. And what is asked in the question is to find the gravitational force. How much gravitational force is produced? So the gravitational force F is equals to 10 Newton in the first case, and gravitational force is equals to what we need to find for the second case. And if you remember, if you go back to my videos, I have solved this. It is this question similar like question number 3 or 4. So let us see here. By Newton's universal law of gravitation, we can write F is equals to G m1 m2 upon d square, because there are no any indication of heavenly body or a bigger object or a smaller object, so both of them might be similar type of objects. So we can write m1 m2 upon d square, small m2, and force F1, because for the first condition, and I have forgotten to write the given, you can write directly here. Like the first force F1 is 10 Newton and distance D1 is 10 meter. Similarly, distance D2 is 4 meter for the second condition, and we will write by Newton's universal law of gravitation. F1 is 10 Newton here. We don't write the units while solving. Directly while concluding the answer, we can write the units here. And value of G and value of m1 and value of m2 is also not given in the question. Yes, we can memorize the value of G and write, but I think writing value of G will make the solution more complex. So rather not to put the value of G here. And how you can understand under which condition we should put the value of G, under which question we shouldn't keep, that depends on your practice. The more you practice, the more you will understand where shall we keep the value of G or not. But the value of D is needed to be put here, D1, that is 10 whole square, or 10 into 10 square means 100 is equals to G m1 m2. Therefore, G m1 m2 is equals to 1000. Equation number 1. Again, by the second case, here we come to know the distance is 4 meter. So F2 is equals to G m1 m2 upon d2 square, and value of F2 is equals to, now here we can directly use the value of G m1 m2. That is why I said you better not to put the value of capital G also here, because we are not given the masses, we are not given the values of the masses of A and B. So we can directly put the value of G m1 m2 as 1000 divided by d2 is 4 meter, that is 4 whole square. Therefore, our F2 is equals to 1000 divided by 16. You can use your calculator. 1000 divided by 16 is 62.5. That is 62.5 Newton. So this is the answer of the question I asked in the given question here. So therefore, how much gravitational force is produced? The gravitational force produced is 62.5 Newton. So what you can analyze here, the distance is more, so the force is less. Distance is less, so the force is more. Because we have a formula, force is directly proportional to G m1 m2, or you can say m1 m2 upon d square. So if distance increases, force decreases, and if distance decreases, then the force increases. And hence we are sure we can get we can, and hence we are sure and confident that our answer is correct. Now next question, question number 6, and it is also completely different than this question number 5. Let us go for question number 6. Here in question number 6, this question is mostly important for grade 9 students also, and sometimes it comes in grade 10 examinations. That is why I have selected this question. And this question is actually related from force and motion, and we will use the formula of motion here. So what formula will be utilized here? S is equals to ut plus 1 upon 2 a t square, and this formula is applicable for the horizontal direction. Let us read the question and we'll analyze what is asked here in the question. When a piece of stone is dropped, there is a piece of stone from the top of a tower. So let us make a tower here. Here, this is a tower. A person have climbed up to a tower and he has dropped the stone from a certain height of the tower. And when the stone has dropped, it has exactly taken 4 seconds to reach the ground level. So, what is the height of the tower? We have to find the height of the tower here. That is why in place of horizontal direction, now we have to change the horizontal formula to the vertical formula. That is, in place of distance, we can write height, initial velocity into time plus 1 upon 2, and gravity is falling downward here. That is why acceleration will change into gravity of the earth and time taken whole square. This formula is applicable for this question here, where the gravity is G, that is equals to 9.8 meter per second square. Now you must understand some terms here. Any object when it is dropped from certain height to the ground, then the initial velocity will be 0. And if we throw any object from ground level to the upward, then the initial velocity there will be the velocity at which we have thrown upwards, and final velocity becomes 0. If you throw from down to up, final velocity becomes 0. If you throw from up to down, initial velocity becomes 0, and final velocity will be the velocity at which the stone has dropped down. This topic we will be discussing in the next videos also, when I will explain about the definitions and the numericals of motion. For then, let us understand just about this question. So whenever any object is dropped downward, its initial velocity will be 0. Acceleration due to gravity will be positive because it is dropping towards the surface of the earth. If it is thrown away from the surface of the earth, then gravity will be taken minus 9.8. But we have to take positive because it is coming towards the surface of the earth, and the time taken is 4 seconds. Then let us write the given data here. Time taken t is equals to 4 seconds, and enough. Everything is over. Nothing is given here more. So we can analyze ourselves here, and we'll write here initial velocity u is equals to 0, and let height of the tower is equals to h meters. Now height is equals to ut plus 1 upon 2 times gt square, or height h is equals to u is 0, time taken is 4 plus 1 upon 2, gravity is 9.8, the time taken is 4 square, or height h is equals to 0 times 4 is 0 plus 1 upon 2 into 9.8, and 4 square means 16, or height is equals to 0 is removed here, 2 minus 2 to 8 times 16, and it is a 64, 6, 8 9 is 72, and 6 78, 78.4 meter. So the height of the tower is 78.4 meters. Now we will write as per the question required. Therefore, the height of the tower is 78.4 meter. Here I conclude the numerical question related to force and gravity. If you still have some new numericals, new questions related to gravity, you can send me in the email, or also you can write the question directly just below to the comment section of this video. Now till then, keep practicing, keep learning. Bye.